Christian, seriously, just once, be real, she snapped. You keep saying you'll pray for others, but how about praying for your own son? That is exactly what Moniece from the Real Housewives fired back with when she stepped into the comment section to tear Crone apart. She continued, I am praying for the child you ignored while chasing liquor, lust, and a man who has nothing to offer. You did not choose your child. You did not choose yourself. You chased every addiction and gave into every temptation without ever stopping to think about the pain you were causing. This was not just a clapback. It was a full-on, footnoted sermon with receipts and a moral edge that had everyone leaning in like, wait, is someone finally going to say it? For real? And she did. Loud, clear, and without that fake sugar-coated sympathy people like to throw over croissant when they are too afraid to keep it honest. Because what we are not about to do is act like this girl has not been out here spiraling, especially with a baby involved. And this is not some petty drama or a bruised ego we are talking about. This is a real child, reportedly dealing with serious medical issues. We are talking about developmental delays here, and a mother who seems more invested in Twitch updates than taking her child to the doctor. So when Monae said what she said, it landed hard because let's be real. Crow has been busy, but not in the way a mother should be. No, she's been on a mission to remix her image. Holy on Sunday, clowning on Twitch every other day. Sitting in her studio apartment turned prayer closet, she pleads with fans to stop judging and just pray for her. Sis, the internet already prayed twice and threw in a gospel medley for good measure. People have been practically begging her at every concert just to act like she has some sense. While the rest of us have been quietly watching, deeply concerned about how little she seems to care about that baby's condition, Crow has been laughing it off like this is all one big joke. Meanwhile, the comments are flooded with people pleading for her to take the child to a specialist, to get answers, to protect him. And it is not just words. There are viral clips showing the baby barely responding to anything around him. His movements are stiff, his gaze vacant, no cooing, no crawling, barely even blinking. And then here she comes, turning it into a spectacle. Goof drinks her baby. Really? You drink your baby? People were in shock like, what is going on? And this is exactly why the backlash is coming. That wake-up call from Moniece Slaughter was long overdue. And if you know anything about Money, you know she has had her fair share of mess. But one thing about her, she has never been afraid to speak the truth, especially when it comes to children. So when she finally spoke up and said, enough is enough, you already knew she was not playing. This was not about throwing shade. It was about speaking facts. She brought clarity. She brought conviction. She laid it all out plain. That child is not getting the care he needs. And meanwhile, Kian is out here playing dress up in Jesus robes while her baby suffers in silence. There is a real chance that baby could be battling a neurological issue. And yet, not a single proper medical evaluation has happened. The deflection, the excuses, the endless noise, Money stripped it all down and called it what it truly is. Neglect, plain and simple. No shouting, no shade, no performative outburst for the cameras. Just honesty, measured, firm, and straight from the heart. And what made it land so deeply was that it did not come from bitterness. It came from a woman who knows the struggle, who has walked through her own storms saying, I get it, but this is not the way. And in that moment, the entire internet froze. Scrolls paused, jaws dropped, hearts heavy. It's like a spiritual double take. How are you in the front row at church? Tears flowing like Mary Magdalene in 4K, then hop on Twitch talking about how you're still in love with Blueface. Girl, pick a side. Allegedly, Miss Kian has found God, or at least that's what she's been claiming. Sliding into church services like she's on the praise team, crying in her little tight dress, the Holy Spirit right on cue, talking about how she's a new woman. And then, of course, asking, don't judge me, just pray for me. But just 2 streams later, there she is on Twitch, saying with her whole chest that she still loves Blueface, would take him back in a heartbeat, and even wants to tattoo his name on her face like it's 2022 all over again. You want to act serious, talk about doing things right, but you're still out here following the man who's barely claimed his own child. Ma'am, where in Corinthians does it say, thou shalt tattoo the name of the man who abandoned thy child? You can't be out here shouting Jesus is king on Sunday and then run straight back to your pharaoh the minute the music stops, not after he's dragged you, disrespected you, and called that baby everything but his. It's like Patron is trying to mix Bible study with Bad Girls Club and call it deliverance. Sis, no, that is not healing. That's confusion in a wig and an ankle monitor. Now, Blueface doesn't even need to say another word because every time he opens his mouth, all we hear is stale basement air and unresolved trauma. This man has been acting like his own child has become nothing more than a punchline in his dusty little IG rants. And don't even get me started on how he publicly dragged that baby like he was trying to score extra loyalty points with Satan himself. Remember when he denied it was his, then doubled down, saying he didn't want to deal with it, all while creeping around with Jaden like he doesn't have emotional grime under every fingernail. Honestly, it's like leave him alone. Bloody. Hands and all, what's your purpose here? Are you trying to hit a ditch? Just look at how you've got your back up, man. Back up. Look at how you're treating your own baby. That child doesn't look anything like me. Not even close. It's like a broken record. Nobody's giving her, while standing outside my house asking, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Meanwhile, that baby looks nothing like me. Bye. And what did Chrisean do? Nothing. Worse than nothing. She's out here talking about taking him back like he's some redeemed husband in a Tyler Perry movie, when in reality he's just a walking cautionary tale. But let's be real. Blueface isn't just trifling, he's complicit. Because while Chrisean fumbled he dropped the ball on fatherhood, hasn't stepped up, hasn't helped, and barely acknowledges that child is his, unless it's to make him the punchline of a joke. But what really makes this situation 10 times worse is how the industry sees all of it. They see everything, yet crickets, silence, not a word from the PR teams of the brands that paid Chrisean to show up and smile for the cameras. How are you? Booking this girl for interviews, walkthroughs, and studio sessions, but none of you are asking the real questions about her child. Nobody's asking, do you need help? Do you need support? Are you actually going to take care of that child or not? Instead, she's out here being labeled the realest chick in the game, while her real responsibility stays out of the spotlight, looking underfed, underdeveloped, and unwell. And if this were any other mother, especially a black mother with a messy past and a visibly struggling child, they'd be ripped to shreds. But Chrisean, she's still playing the victim, all while treating her own child. She's treating her own child like a prop. And as much as we shade, drag, and rightfully call her out, this is a generational tragedy unfolding right in front of us. What we're witnessing is Chrisean fully immersed in the aftermath of unhealed trauma, mixed with fame, ego, and a platform that's far too big for her emotional maturity. This girl has had no guidance, no mentors, no blueprint. She went from fighting on Zeus like it was a backyard brawl to becoming a mother with a baby, allegedly facing medical issues and no consistent care. And instead of confronting that reality, she's doing exactly what traumatized people do best, avoiding it. She's escaping through religion, live streams, Blueface fantasies, and pure denial. But the baby doesn't get that luxury. Monie's words hit hard because she wasn't just speaking from experience. She was speaking from that place where the cycle could have been broken if someone had called it out earlier. We're laughing at the chaos, but that child will be the one left to deal with the consequences. That's the part no one wants to acknowledge out loud. That's the real kicker, right? Because you have to ask, if Monae hadn't spoken up, would anyone have? If blogs weren't still hyping up Chrisean's fake redemption arc, would people still be laughing at her streams, ignoring the baby crying in the background? Would you still be liking her posts while that child allegedly sits in silence, visibly unwell? Say what you want about Monae. She's got her own messy past, we know that. But one thing she doesn't tolerate is watching another mother pretend to care for a human life. She said what needed to be said, even at the risk of being labeled a hater, messy, or bitter. She spoke the truth no matter the cost. It hurts. And maybe that's why so many people turn a blind eye. Because if they admit that Monae is right, they also have to admit they've played a part in the problem. Why do you think the same people who champion protect black children went silent when this baby needed protection? And can someone really change their ways if they refuse to face the wreckage they've caused? Or is Chrisean just running from the truth, hiding behind the illusion of a choir robe? Good evening, and welcome to Celebrity Chronicles. Tonight we dive into a heated controversy that's been making waves in the entertainment world. Reality TV star Moniece Slaughter has publicly called out fellow entertainer Chrisean Rock over concerns about the welfare of Rock's son, Chrisean Jr. Known for her vibrant presence in both music and reality TV, Chrisean Rock has often found herself in the spotlight, not just for her career, but also for the chaos in her personal life. Recently, Rock came under fire after a video surfaced showing her using a baby carrier incorrectly, with her son appearing visibly uncomfortable. Critics were quick to raise alarms about the child's safety, with social media commentators expressing concern. It's disturbing to see such negligence, one stated. As a public figure, she should be setting a better example. Amid the growing backlash, Moniece Slaughter took to her platform to voice her concerns, dramatically stating, "It's heartbreaking to watch a child being used as a prop. Parenthood is a responsibility, not a publicity stunt." In response, Chrisean Rock defended her actions, insisting that she's doing her best as a single mother and that the public often misjudges her efforts. Chrisean Rock passionately defended her actions, stating, "I'm raising my son with love and care. People are quick to judge without knowing the full story." A child welfare expert weighed in, acknowledging that while public scrutiny can be tough, it's crucial for parents, especially public figures, to prioritize their child's well-being and remain open to constructive criticism. The public remains divided, with some siding with Rock, emphasizing the unique struggles of single parenthood under the public eye, while others stand with Slaughter, stressing the importance of child safety and responsible parenting. The debate rages on, shining a light on the complexities of parenting in the public eye. As always, we hope for the best possible outcome for all parties involved, especially the child at the center of this controversy. Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for our next messy video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is intense, emotional, and controversial. We're diving deep into the story of Chrisean Rock, her baby boy, and the storm of events that unfolded after reports surfaced of CPS getting involved. The buzz on social media is undeniable, with opinions sharply divided. In this video, we're bringing you the full, uncensored breakdown of what really happened, what the public is saying, Chrisean's response, and what this could mean for her and her child moving forward. Make sure to watch until the end because you won't want to miss any of this. Chrisean is finally facing the consequences for damaging her son's future before he even had a chance at life, and people are here for it. Not only are people calling her out on social media for messing up that little boy's life, but things took a turn for the worse when people actually called CPS on her. And this time, CPS took action. They began questioning Chrisean and even took Junior away from her. It all escalated further when a video went viral showing Junior looking extremely disoriented. From the moment he was first posted, it was clear that the boy had some visible signs of Down syndrome, but Chrisean denied it, only for it to be confirmed later. Even Blueface had tried to warn everyone about the situation before Junior was born, but he was dragged through the mud for it. He was labeled as a bitter baby daddy, and sure, he definitely has his issues, but in this case, he wasn't lying. At the time, he tweeted, "I don't care about Crow's feelings. My son is hurting every day, and she's acting like it's not a problem. You had a baby on live, but you're mad about the truth being live. She is a bad mother. Yes, she is unfit. She's been pushing the surgery back, missing appointments, just to do whatever she wants. I went to Baltimore thinking it was just about the surgery," he said. They were talking about how she missed the appointment. At the time, people thought Junior's only issue was the hernia surgery, but that was actually the least of his problems. All the smoking and drinking Chrisean did while she was pregnant had a much deeper impact on his growth. Now, poor Junior has to face the consequences of that for the rest of his life. The first time we got real insight into Junior's condition was when Chrisean went live to defend that ridiculous face tattoo she got. While Chrisean was live, running her mouth, people couldn't help but notice Junior crying uncontrollably in the background. But it wasn't just any cry, it sounded like he was in genuine pain. Yet Chrisean didn't even stop the live to check on him. Instead, she was more focused on defending her tattoo than making sure her son was alright. The backlash hit harder when she went live again with Junior, and viewers pointed out that he had visible features of fetal alcohol syndrome. Once the news spread, the internet exploded with criticism towards Chrisean. People were quick to blame her, feeling that her reckless behavior was the root cause of what happened. She was out in the club partying and drinking when she should have been home, resting and nourishing her body with healthy food. To make matters worse, an old video from Charleston White resurfaced, where he had predicted that her baby would be born with some kind of condition due to her irresponsible actions. Things took a darker turn when another video went viral, showing Junior looking seriously disoriented, almost as if he couldn't see. This video only surfaced because Chrisean chose to go live with him, fully aware that each time she did, the internet would dissect his every move, finding new things to criticize. She was trying to tell her fans that she was now sober, but during the live, Junior appeared to be staring into space, completely unaware of what was happening around him. The situation escalated even further when Chrisean also stepped in. The chat was flooded with reactions when Chrisean chimed in, revealing that when she finally saw Junior in person, he looked even worse than she had imagined. She explained that Chrisean had been keeping her from seeing him, so she wasn't fully aware of how bad things had gotten until that moment. Chrisean had initially thought the videos circulating online of Junior looking off were altered, but when she saw him firsthand, the reality hit her hard. She was heartbroken to witness the extent of the damage Chrisean had done. As expected, Chrisean caught wind of the criticism, and instead of acknowledging her mistakes, she fired back. She insisted that people stop calling her son slow, claiming that he was perfectly healthy. She also denied the accusations of him being blind, arguing that his behavior and appearance were simply due to a